Hi, everybody. So this is Expo Insights item number 2. And I said on the earlier video that discomfort might be the mother of insights. So today, after I had my money multiplier insight, discovering a basic principle of economics, I was sitting there at the fair and, the kids are there and customers are walking around. I just started getting a little bit, as I said, uncomfortable with the number of customers. And the insight I had was, again, kind of rooted in the notion of money as a method of exchange, right? A unit of exchange that facilitates people exchanging their time, skills for other people's time and skills, right? I mean, because I earn money doing what I'm good at to then get money to buy things that I want and need that are the product of what other people are good at, and they've invested their time and money into it. And so as I was looking at all of my kids, my exhibitors, I started thinking, little Elizabeth bakes goods, little Joe makes slime, little Ava does jewelry, little Mai does face painting, Dorian does YouTube consulting, etc., etc., etc. And I was thinking that they're all sitting at their booths, wanting somebody to come and give them money in exchange for their goods and services that they put time and energy into. And then they want to take the money that they get. In most cases, what's funny, right, is that kids, in many cases, make what they like. So Elizabeth likes to bake, and Joe likes to make slime, and Ava likes to make jewelry. That's why, at these events, that's what they're doing. And I was like, Elizabeth is waiting and sitting there looking around, hoping somebody's going to come buy her stuff and give her money so that she can get things she wants. And what she wants is at the table next to her, and the table next to that, and the table next to that. Like, they do want these things. They want these stuff that the other kids make because the other kids make stuff that they wanted, right? And so I just had that insight that usually we think of as money as something that makes exchanging goods and services more efficient, right? Because you don't have to really know the person, you don't have to match up your needs, all that stuff. It facilitates distance. It does all these things. But I started to think that in this instance, money had become an obstacle to exchanging goods and services, because people were focusing on, will other people give me money, which will then let me go get the things I want. And obviously I had, in the first video, I discovered the concept of money. In the second video, I discovered the concept of barter. But it's not just that. There's even something more powerful, in my opinion. Because one of the things that I love about entrepreneurship, I love about the way I've done entrepreneurship for, 45 years. I love the way that the kids do entrepreneurship, is that you discover that you have something inside of you that other people can value, right? You can create something of value. And like, as an example, I'm noticing this. This was a pin made for me by little Brooke Bateman. And she gave it to me at the event. She is a button maker, and that has our Kid Biz logo on it. And it made my absolute day. It absolutely made my day. But the idea, as an example, that Brooke could make this button, it's very cool that she can have other people give her money for these buttons. But what the insight was, and what was really cool, I thought, was that this is money. It's pre-money, right? Like, if little Elizabeth has baked and baked and baked and baked, and she brings her baked goods to the event, and she has her prices on all of them. And let's say everything that she's selling everything for $5, the buns and the this and the loaves and all this stuff. And let's say she has 50, uh, 50 items. She had more than that. Then that means that she has $250, which is our unit of measuring, right? So that we can compare things and everything. She has $250 of product. And in her head, she's like, I would like to convert my $250 of product into $250. That will make me happy, right? Because then I will be able to take those $250 and exchange those for other things I want. But I need customers. It's not even whether people will validate it. It's like, yes, she can do that, but she needs customers to do it. But what if, barter, she was able to take her $250, not $250 of product, $250 of product, but what if, in her perspective, she turned her product into currency, right? And she goes and says, hey, can I interest you in a cupcake? I will give you one cupcake for one thing of slime, right? Hey, can I interest you in a cupcake? I will give you one cupcake for a piece of jewelry, etc., etc., etc. And you can argue that barter is not the most efficient use of commerce, but barter has a couple of cool, it can work really well because you have it, it exists, right? And if you're in a good market with other people that have the different things you want, there are ways to do it. But it's also, she creates her own money supply, right? In theory, Brooke can just print up money, right? She's printing these up and stamping them, and she could go around to every one of these booths and say, I will give you a button in exchange for this and this and this, right? And I also thought one of the things that's cool is that money, because it can be spent on so many different things, and because there's a lot of emotional components to money, like money is security, right? Sometimes you want to hoard money because we want to be prepared for something in the future. Or it's a measuring stick, like how much money did you make and how much money do you have? Well, if you spend all your money, especially if you have parents there saying, well, I don't know that I want you buying all that junk, right? Like, I know your stuff is spun gold, but everybody else's stuff is just trinkets, right? It's just a situation where there was a powerful insight. So just long story short, too late, right? It was about maybe 45 minutes into the fair where I said, I have to say something. So I stopped it. I didn't stop everything. Unfortunately, we didn't have a huge number of people there yet, but it made it easy for me to stop with my booming voice. So I just said, hey, everybody, I know you're all going around already looking at other people's stuff, but I want you to consider something. I want you to consider that you have a lot of money to spend. Every one of you has a lot of money to spend. If you think of your products as something valuable that could be used to exchange with other people, right? And so I said, go take a look and see what you can do in terms of trading. And maybe I said it more elegantly than that. It's 4:00 in the morning right now, but it was fantastic what happened, right? Kids that we always tell them go interact with the other businesses, but now they had, and I've always talked about this, is that, commerce is this great social, it's this great thing that makes social interaction easier, because now you're doing it not because you're trying to make friends or you're being told to do icebreakers. You're doing it because there are things you want, right? So it's a great way to break down barriers and break down shyness and all that stuff. And it absolutely worked. People were going around and exchanging and doing trades. And in some cases, that made me happier than if they were just selling to outside people. Now, we had plenty of outside people as well. But this concept that these kids can print money, right? Or print things that are valuable. Now, in order to work, you need to connect with customers and they need to give you money. But even so, right? Little Elizabeth can bake herself $250, 250 units that will allow her to get the things that she wants from other people who themselves are creating their slime and their jewelry and their face painting and whatnot. So that was my second Expo insight that I wanted to share.